I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I am your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me a day late and a dollar short because of my issues, and a little later than normal also because of my issues, is Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. You don't get enough credit for putting up with my shit. How you doing over there?
Good. I'm actually glad that we did it later because that meant I did my morning show this morning, and then I did my daily thing for my show, and then I took a shower and went to bed and got to sleep for a solid 4 hours, which is like, I tell people I got like a good 4 hours of sleep, and they're like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, that's normal. Like that's normally all I sleep. I've been,
yeah, you and me we don't sleep very well.
man, since college, like if I sleep more than like 5 or 6 hours consecutively, I feel like shit. Like I'm just like groggy and like it.
Yeah, I won't want to get out of bed. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm so tired. How am I tired? I slept for 7 hours, and it's just like I'll stay in there all day if I don't have anything to do. But as soon as I get up and I start doing things, then I feel a lot better. But yeah, dude, four to maybe 5, 6 hours would be fantastic. If I get 6 hours, that'd be really nice. But yeah, I get it in like 3 hour spurts. Yeah, I don't know how I'm still fucking upright, to be perfectly honest.
In my sweet spot. If I get 3, then I'll take a couple like cat naps here and there.
Yeah.
During the rest of the day. And my kids are like, how can you just be sitting there and then you close your eyes and then 15 minutes later you open your eyes and you're like ready to go? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like,
that's fucking thousands of years of evolution. Catching a nap when you can, and you got to be fucking alert when something comes to attack you.
I can just turn my brain off, and yeah, it also makes my wife really mad because she'll lay in bed and flop around and toss and turn for 45 minutes to an hour just trying to go to sleep. And me, I close my eyes and just turn it off, and I'm out. That's it. Game over.
I'm jealous of that. Yeah, that's kind of how naps work for me. But like the formal, I'm going to bed, it's always like a fucking ordeal. I gotta watch TV or so. I gotta numb my brain for at least 30 minutes before I can fall asleep.
Like whenever women ask us, they're like, "What are you thinking about?" And we say nothing. We literally mean nothing. Like men have the ability to just switch our brain off and have nothing go on, and it's amazing.
Either that or ancient Rome. Yeah. Right. Anyway,
speaking of ancient Rome, Nero fiddled while Rome burned, and Maxine Waters is calling for the rich to pay their fair share. Maxine Waters says, "I'm not playing politics on the fires, but we need rich to pay their fair share to provide services." Well, Maxine, gosh, hang on. Let's watch.
You have it straight from her mouth. Yeah, the dimmest fucking bulb in Congress. Let's hear it from her.
The clip is. This is kind of impressive because you get Chris Cuomo being reasonable for a change, and also Maxine Waters. Like you think from reading what she said that it's bad, but then when you hear her say it, it's infinitely worse.
We will continue to do it. I think you are right. However, it can also be seen that you don't want to talk about the politics because it's on your party, because the mayor and the governor are Democrats who arguably should have had the people in Altadena better prepared for this. They should have the resources more available so they don't need me to put them up, because the state has been doing the work. And that if they've been preparing the situations for wildfires like they were made aware of, instead of cutting deals with PG&E and insurance companies, they would have prepared the state. That is not unfair criticism. Is it too soon? Maybe, but the questions are real.
Let me tell you something. I'm not in the business of protecting anybody. And I think that my work over the years that I've been involved have been absolutely on point in dealing what has to be dealt with in order to help the people. First thing you got to understand is services cost money. And we should be willing to get the richest people in this country, the richest 1% that is protected, make sure they pay their fair taxes so that we can have the money to provide the services. With that money and with those resources, the people who have been selected or elected to do the job should do the job. I don't care who it is. It could be Democrat, it could be Republican, it could be whatever. But the fact of the matter is, we all should have heavy hearts right now, but we should have faith, and we should be on point for making sure that we do everything to help the people that need us. Damn it, you can do the politics later. You can come and talk about Gavin Newsom later. You can talk about the Democrats later. I don't care who you talk about, but don't use up this precious time to do petty politics. Use the time to educate and to share information and to let people know where they can get some food, where they can get a place to stay, where they can get some clothing, on and on and on. That's where I am. I don't know where you are.
Get the fuck out of... Dude, their response to everything is just the rich need to pay more in taxes. And then it would have been fixed. Then it would have been a fucking utopia, apparently. California, they pay the highest fucking taxes in the state. Or, I mean, in the country. They're the highest fucking state taxes. It goes up to like 13% or something if you're a high earner. They're taking more than half your income in California if you're one of the richest people in the country. More than half. So I don't know. What's fair? What is a fair share? And when the fuck are you going to start seeing some results? They took in, I just looked this up while she was fucking babbling, that stupid fucking bitch, $220.59 billion in 2023. $220 billion. All right? That's about what we give to fucking Ukraine every fucking 6 months. But, dude, that's not enough. That's not enough to get the basic services, because what happens when an anarchist like you or I says, we should just get rid of government, we shouldn't have taxes? What do they say? What about police and fire? What about education? What about the roads? Police and fire, the first fucking thing they always go to. Well, how they doing over there? They don't have enough fucking firefighters. When they plug into the fire hydrants, there's no goddamn water. They've got 5 fires going out of control for over a week. Has it been a week now? It's been a week.
Over a week, yes.
Over a week now. $220 billion in taxes is what they took in. I don't know what they took in fiscal 2024. But, yeah, that's... you would think that'd be more than enough to provide fire protection to people. But apparently, I mean, that's going to be the estimated damage of this fire is more than they took in taxes. It's over 200. It's like 250 billion at this point. So yeah, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I don't know how many. So what's the number? How much do you need in taxes from the rich people of California to provide basic services? Because it seems like the more money they get, the less service they're getting, the less basic services, the most basic functions of government they're getting. What's the number? What do you need? 300 billion? Is that going to do it? 400 billion? What did they waste on not providing homes to people? Was that $25 billion or something for the homeless? Something around there?
I thought it was 40, but I could be.
Yeah, because we were saying they could solve world hunger with that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 40 billion that they spent on not actually providing homes. Like they never actually accomplished anything, but they did a whole lot of talking about it and a whole lot of like moving pieces around, like they were going to do something, but then never actually did anything. Also, how did what happened to that $60 billion surplus that they had? Why couldn't they have used that for their fire prevention?
Yeah, I mean, dude, the level of incompetence is staggering. Even by my standards, I'm just like, wow, can they really do any worse than this? And their response is just like, oh, let's not play politics. We just need the rich people to pay more money. Give us more money. That's their response to everything. So, and when you see that's how the incentives line up, now they're going to get more money. Well, are they actually going to prevent anything bad from happening in the future? Of course not. Why would they? They get to blow all the money they steal from you on everything that they want, lining their own pockets in the process. And then when shit hits the fan, people die, you lose your house. Oh, well, it's just because you didn't give us enough money. So give us more money next year. That's the incentive structure. It's completely fucking backwards. And that's why everything continues to get worse as the government continues to take more and more money from you. When the people of California are going to wake up to this, I don't know. Maybe this is the wake up call when your house is fucking literally on fire. This is what you've been voting for the last 30 fucking years. No, probably longer. I don't know. My entire life.
Well, and the reason Maxine Waters is so mad at the rich people is because they've been fleeing California in droves, moving to Texas and Tennessee and other places that are more tax friendly because California does have such an insane tax rate that it's driving people away. And it's not just it's not just the richest. It's also like upper middle class people are fleeing California for the same reason. Yeah.
And then the middle class people are priced out of everything. They can't afford the fucking real estate. They can't afford the fucking taxes. They all go to fucking Vegas is having a huge boom because everybody who's not like super rich just drives down the road to fucking Vegas, sets up shop there.
They can't afford to pay their insurance bills on time. And okay, so did you see the stuff? There were people that were State Farm canceled all these. Actually, it was a lot of them. The overwhelming majority of them were policies that were set to be renewed, that were like expiring at the end of the year and needed to be renewed, and people just didn't renew them. Like they didn't have auto pay on. I made the reference to like the insurance that we have on the house down the street. I haggle with insurance every year about it because for some reason a $70,000 house that was built in the 1890s has a higher insurance cost than the nice $150,000 house that we used to live in. Like, why does the nicer, more expensive house have such a higher have such a lower insurance cost? I'm like, I shouldn't be paying more in insurance for something that's worth half of anyway. So I haggle with them, and I don't ever pay it on time. I usually pay it about a month after it's due, when I get them to knock a little bit off of it. Like, I get it. You don't always, pay your insurance as soon as it comes due. But also, if you live in a place that's had wildfires literally every year for, I don't know what, the past 4 years, like 5 years, something like that.
You're going to want to make sure that shit doesn't lapse on you. Yeah.
It's like if you live in a flood zone, you make sure that your flood insurance is up to date every year. Like,
yeah, especially during flood season.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, dude. You can't, it's hard to put a lot of blame on the insurance companies for this. I don't know, dude, it's just so frustrating watching these politicians. And like, how many more times does something have to happen and their response is just like, we need more taxes? They have no other solution to anything. Just give us more money and we'll fix it somehow. What's her fucking plan? What's she going to do? Let's say instead of taking 60, they're taking fucking 60% of your money if you're in the 1% in California. It's like with the Obamacare tax, that's like 3.2%, 14% state, 39% federal. I mean, okay, 60% of your fucking money is already gone. So they own you for more than half the year. What are they going to take? 75%? And then what do you get? then everything's going to be fine, or is everything just going to be as bad as ever? And of course, people are going to fucking move out of there, and then it becomes a downward spiral. They lose the tax revenue, so they jack up the tax, taxes on the lower income earners, and then they fucking leave, and it's just it's so easy to see coming. And it's just like anything else, they're able to fucking drag it out and fucking paper mache over everything to make it look like it's okay. They can fucking jigger the numbers so it looks like they have a $60 billion surplus, and they can brag about that for a while. But eventually, the fucking, the emperor has no clothes. The fucking tide goes out, and you see what's what. How many more times does this have to happen before people are like, yeah, I don't know, this doesn't seem like a very good way of doing things?
Well, it's always going to be the billionaire's fault, whether it's Elon Musk for taking Tesla and X and leaving the state of California, or another billionaire, Donald Trump. Obviously, California fires are his fault.
Because he says it was unbelievable. I thought it was fake news. He said that California's woke politics and DEI are the reasons for the fires, because Newsom has been tearing down dams because Native Americans, but he called them Indians, wanted some of the river back so they could catch salmon. And Gavin didn't just knock down one dam for the Indians, he knocked them all down. He knocked down 4 of the dams. I'm sorry, this is stolen land, first of all, okay? California is stolen land. Second of all, that's part of what always happens. These dams, there's preservation of the dam. So that was just complete, not only misinformation, but it was racist. And I think we need to also call stuff like that out.
Well, look, I think what this has shown us is, for people who thought that Donald Trump has changed, he has not changed, okay? No. He is the same immature, insensitive, inappropriate oaf that he's always been. What he should be doing right now is putting out tweets saying, I thank the heroic first responders. I thank the countries of Canada and Mexico and all the others who've helped. I thank the surrounding states that have sent help. I have talked to Governor Newsom. I have talked to Mayor Bass. I have told them that my administration in 7 days will be ready to supply everything and anything that California needs. Californians, my thoughts are with you. Those are the things you have to say. If you need help in figuring it out, go look at everything that Joe Biden has said for the last 4 years after a natural disaster. I have lived in Florida for 44 years. I have seen so many hurricanes. You know what somebody wants?
Yeah, they want meaningless platitudes. That's what they want when their house is on fire. Meaningless platitudes. T's and P's. Yeah, okay.
Biden's administration has done such a great job. That's why people in North Carolina are still living in tents in the middle of the winter and having.
I love. Yeah, it's Donald Trump's racist. That's the big problem here. It's unbelievable, man. It really is. This is still fucking technically the Biden administration. Not going to throw any shade on them for that. Nope. Biden gives the right statements. Yeah. When was the last time we heard from Biden? You don't even know if he's still alive.
Oh gosh. Okay. You missed it then. Biden did an interview. So Karine Jean-Pierre a couple weeks ago said Biden would not be taking any more questions. He wouldn't be talking to the press anymore, that he was just going to kind of finish out his term and be done. And then he did an interview where he said that he's confident if he had run, he could have beat Donald Trump. And he still believes that Kamala Harris can beat Donald Trump. I mean, dude, it was all done with 2 months ago. She did not do that. She'll
get him next time around for sure. Yeah. It's such fucking this bullshit where they're just like, nobody who's suffering right now in California gives a rip that Donald Trump called Indians and not Native Americans. That's where the outrage is. Not that people are dying, not that their houses are on fire, but Donald Trump used politically incorrect language. I don't know when they're gonna catch up to this movement, but nobody gives a shit about that. I don't know anything about these dams. I don't know, but it sounded very Trumpian. Very Trumpian. He closed all the dams. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, but the DEI stuff absolutely has an effect in the response to these situations. Of course, how could it not? They don't want to admit that, but it's as plain as day. You could see it. The level of incompetence across the board. Everybody's just like there's just like a bunch of angry lesbians in charge of everything in California, and nothing's getting done. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Put out some fucking fires.
Remember when the pictures were going around of the chick that's the head of the Department of Health in California back during COVID that looked like a fucking crypt keeper?
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the people that you've got running California.
Dude, you can't make this up. Like 1,000 years from now, if there was like a book and they were flipping through the page, like this is who we're voting for, this is who we're putting in charge, this is our plan to do things. You wouldn't believe that this was real life. You wouldn't believe it. It's too ridiculous for even like a cartoon version of Earth. It's no wonder. It's no wonder. Like, this is a fucking purge, dude. This is this is God's way of purging ridiculous ideology, hopefully, from the planet. If you don't learn the correct lessons from the correct lesson is not like, oh, we need to be more sensitive to Native Americans and whine over stolen land and give thoughts and prayers and have the federal government come to the rescue when a state fucks up.
They made sure they did the stolen land thing. Damn it! I forgot to write my fucking Columbus Day Substack. I've got an article about it, and I was gonna write a big ass Substack about Columbus Day, and I missed it. It's always next year, luckily.
Yeah. It really is just unreal, man. I think Gavin Newsom is fucking done politically. I don't think he's coming back for this. I don't think we have to worry about him running for president. I think he's gonna fucking limp off into the sunset along with the douchebag to our north in Canada. So we'll see if they can get some decent management to take over some of these states. But man, what a job they've done ruining what could be like the greatest fucking what a great state California could be. It has everything you want. It's just politically just a goddamn nightmare. And yeah, there's still people they're angry at Donald Trump for this. And I know there was some sort of like fake reporting going on that it was a bunch of like MAGA supporters that started the fires or something.
There were some people starting fires. Judging by their appearance, I doubt they were MAGA, but nonetheless. Well, I mean, on a positive note, maybe now that her quest for the presidency has failed once again, Kamala Harris can go back to California and be a prosecutor again and charge all of these people. She had some thoughts on the fires and everything.
Some profound thoughts, I'm sure.
And so it's critically important that to the extent you can find anything that gives you an ability to be patient in this extremely dangerous and unprecedented crisis, that you do.
Yeah. Patience is it's a virtue. And I don't know about you, but when my shit's on fire, I like to be patient about things. I just wait for it all to burn down and we'll get to it later. You just need to be patient. Justin, your entire fucking life is on fire. Your entire goddamn city is on fire. I'd like to urge patience here. Patience. That's what she came up with. I can't think of a worse message. How about a sense of urgency? Like, shit's burning down. Patience.
Her use of a thesaurus for just like every time she talks is impressive. Like, she racks off as many big words as she can in short sequence to make it seem like she's really smart while saying literally not a goddamn thing whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a ton of filler and then the wrong, ultimately like the wrong kicker. Like, patience is the kicker. That's her big fucking message, and it's the opposite of what everybody wants to hear.
Here, you're gonna appreciate this. This was in the comments on that video. Yeah, 42 Clinton, nope. 43 Bush, 44 Barack, 45 and 47 Trump, 46 Joe. Nope. Have you noticed that? So the way they're sitting, that there's something that talked about how the way they're seated on different stuff. The president will be next to either the last first lady or the subsequent first lady, and so like
Michael's not going.
So like George W. and Michelle Obama had gotten to be friends through just the fact that they sat next to each other a lot. Michelle has not been at anything of late, and there was a report that came out over the weekend, I think, that said Michelle Obama has officially announced she won't be attending Trump's inauguration.
Yeah, she's skipping. Yeah, she's skipping it. There'll be no. Big Mike is going to do something else that day.
But also, that's given us some fun clips of Barack and Trump sitting next to each other, like talking and cutting up a little bit, which has been kind of funny too.
Yeah, I've seen some of those where they dub over it, like make up a fake conversation. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. There's nothing better than Trump being back in the fucking hot seat. He's so goddamn funny, and there's just so much comedic material that comes out of it. You're gonna get the same bullshit government stuff anyway. You might as well get entertained while they do it, instead of watching like Joe Biden, dude. Instead of literally watching like a demented corpse up there wandering around, having no idea what was going on. Donald Trump, dude, just provides so much more. I can't wait. I think the next 5 years are going to be an absolute disaster, but I can't wait to fucking watch it.
Right. If you don't think Donald Trump is funny, leftist, you need to take a cue from your all-time hero.
President Obama there, elected in 2008, served 2 terms, and then yielded there to President Donald Trump.
Got him
cracking him up. I wish I knew what he fucking said. It was probably something absolutely hilarious. Oh man. Oh my God. It's gonna be. I mean, speaking of they want Donald Trump to say, "Oh yeah, my administration will be ready to provide you with everything that you need." Dude, the federal government. And I sent you an article about this. We don't have to go through the article. I want to talk about the situation that the federal government is in for a second, because as fucked as California is, the federal government is so much more fucked. Particularly, this year is like the beginning of the debt bomb that's going to go off. We're over 36 trillion in debt. Almost a third of that is going to has to be rolled over this year in 2025 at current interest rates. So it's like over $7 trillion is coming due this year. And remember, we're already paying over $1 trillion in interest. So this is just the short-term debt that they've been borrowing over the last couple of years during the Biden administration, from like 2021 to today. They borrowed about $7 trillion, and it was always, remember, because they're trying to keep interest rates low. They're doing it at very short-term, 1 year, 6 months, that kind of debt stuff. And they were borrowing. The reason they were able to get away with it during the Biden administration without like a catastrophic fucking explosion in the economy was that they essentially borrowed $2.5 trillion from the reverse repo facilities, which I don't know. We don't really have to get into that, but it's basically a surplus cash that they'd taken out of circulation in order to control interest rates. That's what they were. So they brought that back into circulation, and they borrowed from that. So we had.
They're coming for you, Johnny. The federales are getting you. They figured out where you're hiding. So it's game over.
It's hard enough for me to keep a fucking train of thought. I need fucking sirens going off in the background. So they were able to basically drain the entire reverse repo facility of $2.5 trillion during the Biden administration. So that surplus, that's gone now. That's completely drained. It's over. There's nothing left in there. This is going to be a fresh $7 trillion just rolling over previous debt. That doesn't include anything that they're going to do normally during the year. It's an additional $7 trillion has to be rolled over at current interest rates, not at fucking zero, not at 0.25, not at 1%, but at whatever they're at now, 4 point something. And that's the beginning of it. That's the beginning. Like, it's just going to keep happening. And they're just going to keep doing it at short-term things because they think, okay, yeah, we can get away with it for a couple of years. And Biden gets away with it. And as soon as he gets out of office, the bomb goes off. And then Trump's going to do the exact same thing. Try to do a short-term fix, try to plug those holes, never really deal with any of the underlying problems. It's impossible to get out from under this.
But Johnny, surely not. I mean, Joe Biden says the economy he's leaving America is the best in the world and stronger than ever for all Americans.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens because we got the CPI numbers. They came out today. Went up every month during the Biden administration. I think it came in at 2.9%. So they're still over 2%, even by their own bullshit calculations. Yeah. Consumer prices went up over 21% under Biden. Okay. So how are they going to, if inflation keeps ticking up, how are they going to control interest rates and not destroy the US dollar at the exact same time and keep borrowing money to keep this afloat? How do you borrow $7 trillion and pay fucking 5, 6, 7% interest to keep inflation under control? What's going to happen? I mean, that's going to pull a ton of money that's currently in the stock market getting, maybe 3% return. It's all going to be pulled out and going to fucking bonds, getting a 5% return. And it's just the debt spiral is just going to continue. I don't see a way out of this. It's an absolute, you can go ahead and read some of that.
The index for food increased 0.3% in December after rising 0.4% in November. The food at home index also rose 0.3% over the month. 4 of the 6 major grocery store food group indexes increased in December. Meat and poultry, fish, and eggs increased 0.6% in December. As the eggs index rose 3.2%, they're currently so one of the things that's getting overlooked by a lot of people is the USDA is currently out there doing their damnedest to fight the bird flu, which is not actually something that's a problem for people, and also the way the poultry industry, specifically the hatcheries, layers, and the meat bird facilities are set up. They're able to isolate sick birds and keep everything pretty well contained anyway, but it doesn't matter what you actually do and how well you do it. The government wants to kill shit all the time. So they've been just like murdering entire flocks of birds because they find bird flu in like a small, like I think in some instances it's been as few as like 6 birds will have had the bird flu, and so they'll just kill every bird in the whole fucking barn. So yeah, that's government efficiency, which is then in turn driving up the price of chicken, driving up the price of eggs, cutting egg supply significantly. If you understand how the layers work and everything, and like the way that these layer facilities rotate birds and stuff, like to lose a whole barn in one fell swoop, that's catastrophic. So yeah, that's not going to get any better as long as they're doing dumb shit. Energy index increased 2.6% in December. Gasoline increased 4.4%. Hopefully some of that stuff will come back under control because Trump has talked about like day one opening up drilling and stuff that the Biden administration shut down. So we could see some relief on that in the next 6 months or so, possibly.
Airline prices. I mean, it's Everything that you want to buy, everything that you need to buy continues to go up faster than your real wage. I mean, Donald Trump's going to want them to cut rates more. They can't fight this inflation. They can't do it. And they're going to have to borrow, like they were already going to borrow fucking what? A couple trillion this year, probably 2 trillion. On top of that, they're going to have to borrow another 7 just to roll over previous debt. The numbers are just fucking staggering, dude. There's no way out of this. And I mean, nobody's really seriously talking about it. And now, of course, we got to send a bunch of money to California. Got to do that. Then there'll be another natural disaster somewhere else in another state that's ill prepared for it. We'll have to, the federal government will give them some more money for that. Of course, obviously, you know, we got to give at least another 100 billion to Ukraine, obviously. And the whole Israel thing, like, I don't know, man. They need to really fucking cut back on something, and there's no political will to do it. Like the economics of it is going to have to force their hand, but that's literally the worst case scenario, because when you let it get to that point, that's where the most devastation hits the most amount of people, and Donald Trump's going to be the perfect patsy for it. The perfect fucking patsy. Anyway.
Well, then you got the jobs report that came out on Friday. Here was a fun article that I found. Biden lied about everything. The Philadelphia Fed finds that all jobs created in Q2 were fake. So from April 2023 through March 2024, going back and revising all of this amazing job creation down by 1 million for the year. After they had already revised all of it down every month going through that, they then came back and revised it all down another 1 million. Then it turns out that for 2024 Q2, literally none of the jobs were real. They were all fake. They were all created. It was all like fluff and bullshit.
Birth death model and assumptions and shit like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A wonderful economy. It's all fucking smoke and mirrors. And that's why they lost the election, dude. The American people actually have to live in this economy. You can't keep telling them how great things are when they're actually living, when their lived experience, to borrow one of their fucking favorite terms, is showing them the exact opposite of that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's criminal that they can fucking get away with this. Dude, imagine being off by 1 million. Imagine getting everything wrong. And like, oh, whoopsie, we're just going to revise it down. Nobody will talk about it. It'll be on the, on these like fringe, I guess Zero Hedge isn't really a fringe website or whatever, but like it doesn't get headlines like that. It doesn't get major headlines. What gets headlines is Donald Trump called them Indians. It's like, okay, yeah. How about you've been lying to the American people about literally everything every fucking day of the week? All those jobs were bullshit. Inflation's still running out of control, even the way, like the most fucked up way that they could calculate it to benefit them. Yeah, this is not looking like we're making America great again. I don't think there's anything Donald Trump could do realistically that could really turn this ship around. I mean, like I said, realistically, there is something I think he could do, but nobody's going to do it. Doge isn't going to be able to fucking really accomplish anything, unfortunately. And it maybe best case scenario, it puts some of this stuff into the conversation, gets a place at the table. But again, they'll just, we just need to tax rich people more. And you got to pay your fair share and yada, yada, yada. And we'll tax our way out of this somehow. It's like standing in a bucket and trying to pick yourself up by the handle. It's not going to work. Anyway, that was depressing. What else we got today?
I guess we could, since you mentioned, hang on. Whoa. Oh, damn it! They changed the fucking thing, and I.
Did you? There was some good news on the supply chain front that there's a surplus of tequila. Did I send you that article?
Yeah, it's a locked article, but.
Okay. Yeah, tequila prices might be coming down in the near future, so at least you'll be able to get drunk on at a fraction of the cost. They've got a massive oversupply of tequila. I don't see it here, at least not here in Vallarta. They're still pricing it's like the last shot of tequila on the fucking face of the earth. But
dude, we got a whole fucking warehouse. It comes in, we receive it in, then we turn around and load it back up on a truck and send it across town to another warehouse and just stuff it. Like, we have so much motherfucking tequila. I'm like, y'all do understand we have like inventory, like we have storage space issues as it is. Like, why are we bringing in 6 fucking truckloads of tequila that we're not going to ship out? Like,
they're running out of plate. Yeah, and they have like I forget the number, but it was like almost like a trillion. It's like 500 million liters more than they should, essentially, either in inventory or like coming down the pike. It's going to be fucking bottled this year. So there's going to be a big bust in tequila. Wait for that to happen, and then you can buy up some shit on the cheap. It's not going to go bad. It's a nice inflation hedge there for people that are fighting inflation on a budget. Buy a bunch of tequila. At least you can get hammered while you watch the country crumble.
Yeah, it's well. So the alcohol industry as a whole has really been taking it on the chin here over the last couple of years. For whatever reason, like COVID, everybody was drinking, and then COVID ended, and people went back to work, and even though a lot of the big alcohol, like the big liquor companies, took some pricing, like they raised their prices on some stuff a little bit, but by and large, alcohol really hasn't gone up with inflation over the last 4 years. Like it's remained pretty static, and like for some reason, people have stopped drinking as much. And the stuff that they do drink has changed significantly. Now it's a lot of the like ready to drink, ready to serve kind of stuff, like the already pre-mixed shit. Like there's wine and hard liquor have all gone down significantly, especially tequila. It's like it's insane.
I'm doing my part. I drank 2 bottles of wine yesterday. Yeah, you can't blame it on me. I'm trying my best.
You need to drink more tequila because take care of some of that oversupply problem.
Yeah. You can get bottles of tequila here at a pretty reasonable, for like $20-$25, something like that. But yeah, if you're going out to like a bar or a restaurant or something, they want, close to $10 a shot for like the cheapest shit they got. That's wild, man. That's fucking ridiculous. Get it back down to 6, and then I'll drink a lot more.
We had like a special anniversary. It was like a 25-year anniversary bottle that was the double anejo, all of that good shit. It was in like a fancy packaging, fancy bottle shit. So we had a whole pallet of it that we were shipping out. I was like, I wonder how much that shit runs per bottle, because it looks fucking fancy. It was like $600 a bottle. There's like 6 bottles to a case, like 75 cases on a pallet. So you can do the math, like how much just that lone pallet of tequila retails for. Like,
yeah.
Holy fuck.
What was the name of it?
Fuck, I can't remember now. We only had like 3 pallets of it, and because it was that special anniversary shit, and it all shipped out pretty quick. Like there was a lot of like, make sure we take care of this. Like don't drop anything.
Yeah, that'd be real brutal. You drop a case of it, like fucking $3,600 down the drain.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else we got on the docket today?
Oh, got you some.
Ooh.
Chicago, where the wind is cold and the people are low. Broken down buildings, ain't no place to go. But the music keeps playing in shithole Chicago.
Chicago has had 10,000 iPads and laptops just go missing from their school system.
Dollars down the drain at CPS in the midst of a budget crisis. This brand new report revealing tens of thousands of laptops, iPads, and cell phone hotspots were lost or stolen in the 2023-2024 school year. And thousands of those devices, bought and paid for with your tax dollars, ending up in other countries. More than 8,000 devices detected outside of Illinois, a majority overseas in 140 countries like Azerbaijan, Barbados, China, Ethiopia, Jordan, and Nicaragua. This report finding CPS's inventory process lacks accountability, recommending the district resolve asset management issues. Since it's paying for geo-tracking services, it, quote, barely used.
Dude, the funniest part about this story is that nobody coming out of the Chicago public school systems can find any one of those countries on a map that their fucking device ended up at. Like, there's just no fucking way they know where Uruguay is. I'm sorry. But Jesus Christ, dude. How can that fucking, how? 10,000 fucking devices and their GPS tracking them. How do you even let them? I mean, they have fucking metal detectors and shit you make these kids go through. How are they getting these? Like, they get to take them out of school? So that everybody just shows up on the first day, they get all their fucking equipment, and then they fucking sell it off and never come back, but somehow graduate. Wonderful. Yeah. Not my tax dollars, at least not anymore, are not going to that fucking shit. Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, the teachers, again, dude, they want to raise. They're doing a great job. Give them some more money. The rich just pay their fair share. They will cut down on the lost laptops from 10,000 to maybe, well, it's going to go up every year, but just not as much. Next year, it'll only be 11,000 instead of 14,000. Unbelievable, man. Why are they even providing these things?
To be fair, I don't think I know where Azerbaijan is either.
No, I don't.
A general idea, but don't ask me to point it out.
Like, it would be so funny, like one of those tests where they just give you like a blank map and you're like, okay, label these countries. Please do that for the Chicago public school systems. I would love to see how many of those countries they can actually correctly identify. And then if it's more than 5%, I will forgive the 10,000 laptops being stolen. It won't be. It would be like 1% of students would get those correct.
I mean, just have them label the states. I want to see high school kids label all of the states.
Yeah. Yeah. And the capital. I don't know. I used to have to memorize that shit. We used to have to memorize like every state and the capital. And yeah, they give you like a blank map. You write it out. I don't know. I didn't need a fucking fancy laptop to do it either. But apparently, you know, they're getting progressive, Justin. They're getting better at this. So we keep giving them more and more money per student. They keep losing more and more items per student, and the test scores suffer. People are getting dumber by the fucking minute. That's why there's like maybe 2 or 3 serious people in the entire U.S. government at this point who aren't like just a fucking laughing stock. And did you see they took away Thomas Massey's, was it like his chairmanship or whatever?
Yeah, he was on I can't remember it was like an accountability committee, and they took him off of it because he is the only non-AIPAC funded member of Congress, basically.
Yeah, and probably because he didn't back Johnson for the speakership.
I mean,
I think that's a little political retribution there.
Yeah, he was 100% right.
Yeah, he usually is.
Rules committee.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they got so many fucking committees. It's the other retarded government solution to everything. Let's create a committee.
Massey says that he volunteered to step aside if the speaker wanted to put someone else on the rules committee. So he says it wasn't retribution, but the person that they replaced, I wish I could find it. The person they replaced him with on the rules committee it's what you would expect.
Excellent. What's the fucking rules committee do? Come up with new fucking retarded rules, put on the books. We roll back some rules? Is that possible? No. We roll anything back? No.
That's not the way government works.
We don't have enough rules in the U.S. That's for sure. Need a couple more rules. If they just, even I remember like during the 2008 financial crisis, they're like, it's because we took away like one rule. And it's like, yep, there's only like 115 rules that they have to fucking follow. These banks have to follow. If there were 116 rules, then everything would have been fine. But at 115, nope, that's a disaster. And we just need one more rule and one more tax dollar from you. And we promise next time everything will be better.
Oh, here I found the jobs report for December. And there's always some fun, interesting statistics in these jobs reports as well. So the December jobs report came in with a massive 256,000 jobs added, completely just destroying all the estimates. It was it was nearly 100,000 higher than the estimates. Like, anybody looking at those jobs reports thinking that's real is probably a moron. And also it's December, so you get a lot of holiday, like seasonal hiring. These aren't like real jobs that people are sticking with. They're just doing stuff for the holiday season to make some extra money for Christmas, stuff like that. Also in the jobs report, they actually did revise October up by a little bit, but then November got revised down by even more than what October got revised up by. So it was so over the past couple months, we're still like, the jobs reports are still coming in low. And also I think I'm pretty sure the estimate is like somewhere in that 180 to 200,000 jobs is what they need to be hitting every month to keep up. And so like, okay, yay, we like did 250 this month supposedly, right, but we haven't even been coming close to it on most months.
Yeah, that's essentially like best case scenario. We're kind of treading water with jobs, but like we just went over earlier in the show, this will all get revised down. It almost never gets revised up. So yeah, you tell me how their models are doing. If at 99.9% of the time they're off all in one direction, that's not an accident. That is by design. And man, the markets love it. They get the headline, they love it. Dude, futures, the S&P futures are up. They're up 105 today. 462 on the NASDAQ. Yeah, Dow up 700. 480 on the NASDAQ. What's the dollar doing? Oh, crashing against the peso. Getting fucked on the pesos. Bitcoin pushing up maybe to 100,000 again. It's up 3.25% today. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the markets, they love these bullshit numbers.
They always do. Every time. I think we've talked about it before. Like, I don't think the markets are a reliable indicator for anything at this point, because you get bullshit numbers, the markets go up, then you get the revisement or the revisions come out, but it doesn't really affect anything. Like, everything's still trading at all-time highs. Like and we also know whenever the government does print money, the first place it goes is to the banks and to Wall Street, and they make sure that they keep the fat cats fat and happy. And so they're like pumping this thing up and inflating it artificially so that it looks like everything is really good. It looks like, oh man, look, the stock market is way up. We have this boomer, amazing, incredible economy, but it's not reflective of reality. Like we've watched it over the past like 3-4 years where stuff happens and you're like, oh, that's probably going to hurt. And then it goes up anyway. It's like, wait, are y'all responding to the same stuff that we're looking at? Like what see, this is why I like as an old farm boy, commodity markets, because at least they behave somewhat normally. Like you get a drought, shit's going to go up. You have a really bumper crop, shit's going to go down. Like at least China goes on a buying spree, shit's going to go up. Like, things kind of respond to the real world a little more, or reflect the real world a little more accurately. I don't trust anything in the fucking stock market anymore. You're still muted. Gotcha. You're still muted.
Yeah, it's a lot more tangible when you have bushels of things to deal with. But hey, they're going crazy over this. I mean, inflation went up. It went up from 2.7 to 2.9.
Inflation's been going up. So something that's being really underreported, I can't imagine why, is since September, inflation has been going up consistently month over month. Like they made all these, they bragged for so long about how inflation was down when inflation wasn't really down. It was just the rate of inflation was down. But nonetheless, they, I guess around September maybe is when September, October is when they finally realized that like Kamala Harris didn't stand a snowball's chance in hell. And so they stopped, they stopped reporting that inflation was going down.
Yeah. But so, yeah, it's not accelerating as fast as they thought based on this December print. So everything's great. It's just like, okay, yeah, it's still going up. I don't know. I thought we were trying to get this to go down. 2% is their target. It's moving farther away from that. But I guess not as fast as they were worried about. So
look, inflation went up
today.
Inflation went up again for the 4th month in a row, but it didn't go up as fast as we thought it was going to. So we're doing a great job.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what the markets think. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, they'll hit the fucking gas eventually, and then what? Yeah, the whole thing is just ridiculous. But can't stop that party. You just gotta ride it out. Okay, how are we doing on time? Coming up on an hour here. What else? We got anything else today?
Confirmation hearings started this week. I figured we would do the confirmation hearings on Friday when we've got multiple ones to look at, because Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, was it Hegseth doing? Yeah, okay.
Pete Hegseth was yesterday. Pam Bondi's going today. I can't remember who's going tomorrow. Like they're doing confirmation hearings this week, so I figured we'll cover that on Friday. That gives us a few days worth of the confirmations. The Pete Hegseth one was impressively insane. Like the Democrats showed right out the gate that they're here to make this a full blown clown show. So like, buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go. I'm trying to think. There was also something else that I saw that I thought would make for a good Friday topic, not so much for today necessarily. Oh, TikTok. They're talking about the
TikTok ban.
Yeah, TikTok ban is back in the news, and also there was the trannies in like preventing biological men from competing in women's sports. I think that bill actually got passed. So I thought that stuff would make for some good Friday fare. I don't really have anything else for today.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Well, we can get out here at an hour. I think that's plenty for a Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking yesterday, I was sitting around all day yesterday with nothing to fucking do because the internet was out, and I was like, that's just Mexico. Sometimes that happens. And it was like, no, the fucking landlord didn't pay his goddamn bill. So they cut it off. Oh, shit. That's why we didn't do a show yesterday.
Like, if you don't pay your bill in the U.S., it's like, oh, they'll just roll it on the next month. Like, you got to go like 3 or 4 months before they'll really cut your shit off. I bet Mexico is a little more like, if it's due on the 15th and it ain't paid by the 17th, you're out on the 18th.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly. It must have shut off right at midnight because I was up kind of late and I was like, oh shit, the internet went out. And I was like, oh, it'll probably be back, in the morning or something. Because we had a fucking earthquake here on Sunday morning. I forgot to tell you that. There was it wasn't as big as the one a couple of years ago, but it was like a 6.2 on the Richter scale. Woke me up, bed fucking shaking and everything. That's not supposed to happen this time of year. That's usually reserved for September. So I was like, yeah, maybe the I don't know, some after effects from the earthquake jarred something loose. Who knows? But yeah, it was just good old fashioned Mexican incompetence. So, but we should be good from now on. Next time I'll message my fucking landlord a little sooner. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you all so very much for listening. Don't forget to download, subscribe, share the show, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I keep forgetting to send that out. We got to build that up before that so they can kick us off again. And until Friday, you guys know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.